So I have been meaning to start my writing YouTube for a while, and this is the first clip I'm ever filming for it. It's not the first clip you're going to see because obviously I'm going to have like a nice introduction clip where I look a lot nicer than this. This is my after I just taught all day clothes and I'm, showered and tired. But part of my writing YouTube is going to be me talking about books that I really enjoy and books that I don't enjoy. And this is a book I'm not enjoying. And it's unfortunate because I spent money on it. And I'm really mad about that. But the book Marked by Moonlight by Sophie Jordan. It was published under a different name before. She has written 50 romance books. I think this was originally published in like 2009, something like that. Um, but it's just, it's like spoilers, I guess. The book is like this girl turns into a werewolf, and the guy is trying to like break the curse before she werewolfifies, and he has to kill her. But he breaks into her house within the first like 20 pages because he tracked her down because she left her purse after she got werewolfified. And he's like, he tracks her down to her house and fucking like she's sleeping, and he has like the gun. Oh, sorry, YouTube. I said the word gun. The gun to her head, and he's like, I really should kill her, but ooh, she's so pretty. And then she turns and she has supple thighs and well shaped calves, and he dreams about going into her soft heat. And I am like, you are on page 20. You have not even met this woman. You've only seen her unconscious. And you're not gonna kill her. It mentions he's like, I've killed some of my fellow agents at this werewolf killing agency before, but I can't kill this girl. Buddy, maybe pick a new career then if you can't kill a girl because she's hot. Like, Jesus. And then, like, he wakes up, or she wakes up, and, like, his dual perspective. She wakes up, and, like, he's still in her house. It's been days. He's just been living in her house for 2 days. And he's like, you're a werewolf, blah, 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 blah. And he, like, forces her into a mirror and, like, rips down her shoulder where she's been, like, bitten. And, like, he Oh, I'm blanking. Anyways, she's wearing a house coat because what fucking woman goes to bed in pajamas anymore? It's always a house coat so you can sexily rip it off and reveal your now healed shoulder. There's no bite. Oh my God. Because the DNA regenerates faster. That's not how healing works. DNA regeneration is part of it, but DNA doesn't regenerate, it gets replicated. Sorry, my minor is in biology. So, like, even if your DNA does replicate faster, it doesn't mean you heal faster. There's still other healing parts that you need to do. And I'm kind of rusty on it because I don't remember. But, like, does this mean that, like, being a werewolf hops the cell cycle? And, like, all the little checks and balances in the cell cycle are, like, no more? And so, like, being a werewolf is just being a cancer? And not like you're born in June or July, but like the illness because your cells just replicate. Like, are you more at risk for cancer if you're a werewolf because your DNA replicates faster? Because that's what cancer does. It replicates DNA faster. Anyways, I don't think this woman has picked up a biology book in her life. So DNA regeneration, that pissed me off. But like that's just like that's me being somebody who's educated in science and, being a little what's the word? Nitpicky. But anyways, she's all healed. She's pressed up against the mirror. He's pressed up against her. Her titty popped out, of course. Um, because why wouldn't it? And then like it says she's like he's pressed against me. The hard length of his body, which is used 3 times in 2 pages. It just like it's icky. It's like this is one of these misogynistic romance books. Anyways, the hard length of his body is pressed against her. He isn't even like touching her apart from like on her shoulders and like sort of forcing her there like with his weight. And she's like, I'm so wet, I'm gonna come. Have you No, that's not how it works. And if it is how it works, somebody please let me know. But like personal experience as a vagina haver, that's not how it works. And then he's hard too because she's just so pretty. I know this is a romance book, but like, come on. This romance book is only a thing because this guy sucks at his job. Like, if I was in HR and he was like, I couldn't kill her, she was fuckable, I would be like, that's a write up. That's some disciplinary action. You need to go back to training because your job is to kill a werewolf and you're not doing it. But oh, I just remembered another thing. He smells like cedar and pine. Why do all men in romance books, just in general, smell like cedar and pine? There are other smells. Lots of other smells. Why is it always cedar and pine? But not only does he smell like cedar and pine, he also smells like male arousal. Which, I mean, she's a werewolf now, so maybe she can smell better because she's a werewolf. But how do you identify the smell of male arousal? Like, does it have a smell? Like, when you get a erection, does it smell? I don't know. I hate this book, but I paid real money for it. Real dollars for this book. And I'm only on page 36. All of this has happened in 36 pages. So I have to stay strong. I have to keep reading. But like, just the misogyny in this book as well. Like, I described it to my friend because like there's another scene previously, like she's examining her bite wound and like she's taking off her shirt finally, and like the bra like fell, like broke, the bra strap broke from the dog, well, the werewolf bite, and it just like mentions that like her areola popped out, and I was like, why? Like, why does it matter? Also, like, who uses the word areola to be like sexy? That's like an anatomy term. But like, it's just like, and I told my friend this. Like, I told my friend about this scene, and she was like, "Was this written by a man?" And I was like, "No, it's written by some like 50-year-old woman who changed her pen name and is like republishing the books under her new pen name because like this copy of the book came out in like 2025, but like it was written in like 2005. So I don't get it. Maybe she was self-published and she got picked up by a publisher. No idea. Would I read another one of her books after 36 pages in? No. Also, if I had a nickel for every time I read a book in the last like month where there was a character named Gideon, I'd have 3 nickels. But that's because the Locked Tomb has 2 characters named Gideon, which is a spoiler. So if you want to read the Locked Tomb, I'm sorry. But there's the guy's name is Gideon. Take his name out of your mouth. Both Gideons in the Locked Tomb are better than this, even though one of them is pretty shitty. But still, I hate this. I hate this. I want to read romance books because I enjoy writing romance. I enjoy writing scenes, like romantic scenes, and I think it's fun. And I want to get better at it. But I don't want to be like this. So I don't even know if this is helpful. I thought it was cool because it was like a werewolf and they were like trying to break her curse. But no. It's just unfortunate. I'm like, reading books makes my writing better. That's why I want to read more books this year. And I paid real money for this. And I know once I get through this, Nona the Ninth is waiting for me. And I can finally read something that's good. So I just wrote down my writing goals for this session. I would like to get 1,000 words written for The Nature of the Beast. I'm working on chapter 12 of the 4th draft right now. And I changed up the ending, so it's technically like a first draft in a 4th draft. Like, it's confusing. It's going to need a lot of editing. And that's where I'm kind of stuck on it because I want it to be good. Because, the first 10 chapters I've written and rewritten over and over again. So they're like squeaky clean, really nicely done. And then this, I'm like stumbling over myself trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to write this. But we're doing our best. I did write about, let me check. almost 200 words at school today. It was a pretty slow day. It's a snow day. We got like a foot of snow, like 30 centimeters of snow today, and it's still coming down. So, not a lot of kids, lots of spare time, lots of writing. But yeah, I am a little bit tired, so I don't know. But my goal is to get 1,000 words and write for half an hour. And I don't know if I'll be successful. But I have my off-brand Dr. Pepper in my soda stream. It's called Dr. Pete because they can't call it Dr. Pepper because it's not Dr. Pepper. And I think that's very funny. So hopefully that caffeine, one, doesn't keep me up all night, and two, gives me a little boost of energy. But, you know, ADHD and caffeine, it's always a mixed bag. So let's get started. So I wrote for about half an hour, and the total writing done was 772 words. Not the 1,000 I wanted, but I have finally reached 60K on this draft. Woo! My goal is 80K, but I really think it's going to be closer to 100, just based on what's happening with the story right now. But yay, writing done. Woo! I'm back on my bullshit with Marked by Moonlight, and that's the main female character on the cover. You know, notice her hair? That left her hair. She stared at the neat, shoulder-length bob. Is that shoulder length on the cover? I don't think so. Unless her hair fucking starts rapidly growing because she's a werewolf now. I hate when covers do this, when they don't make the characters look like the characters. Because you like look at it and you're like, okay, so that's what she looks like, and then she doesn't. Anyways, another pet peeve. It's me again, not even 30 seconds later. Why is when this man breathes at her, she gets horny? Like, if it's because she's a werewolf, that's just, like, lame and uninspired. I hate this. I hate this so much. I forgot to mention that the werewolf hunting agency is called No Deal, or Nodeal. Do I remember what it stands for? No. The L stands for lichen, and that's it. But I think that's stupid. I'm being really mean to this book. I think it's very stupid. This book sucks. It's so bad. They're like, ooh, I'm so hot, I'm so sexy. But, like, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. Like, she got turned into a werewolf, and I'm on page 84, and nothing has happened. I think they're about to fuck, though, which, you know, might be interesting. Oh. Yeah, they're fucking. I really hope the smut is good. If the smut's bad, this book is irredeemable. I'm sorry. Ugh. I don't know why I'm still reading this book, but I paid real money for it, and, you know, sunken cost fallacy and all that fun stuff. This book gets 1 point in its favor. It used the word clit. It didn't say apex of her thighs or anything like that. It said clit. She's literally horny because being a werewolf makes you want to have babies. It literally said, like, if he didn't get to her, she'd end up pregnant. Why? This is so... I've never complained about a book this much. Somebody get this book an editor and ban Sophie Jordan from using the words hardened, especially with nipples, like hard body, just hard. She can't use hard anymore. If I had a shot for every time that this bitch's nipples hardened, I would be blackout. This is atrocious. I got more cursed stuff. He sucked her nipples into turgid pebbles. That's so hot. What the fuck? So I have this notebook that I use to write down my writing goals for each writing session, or at least like ones that I actually like actively sit down and go, I'm going to write now kind of goals. And so for today, I haven't written them down yet, so I will be doing that. Today, I think I'm going to be working on my long abandoned romantasy, but I was thinking about it as I was walking home from school, and I just feel like writing it right now. The thing is, I think I got too caught up in the world building, and I thought that I needed to flesh everything out before I could write like any of the prose. Like I did have the first chapter written, but it was not great. Because I just like wrote it and I was like, this is gonna be bad because like whatever, cheesy romantasy. And then I started planning for it and I was like, oh, this might actually like be able to be good. Um, it is based off of me and my partner, so is this gonna be able to be published? Probably not. But again, it's just for fun. And I feel like I deserve to have a fun writing time every once in a while. Um, yeah, so I got caught up in the world building, making the gods, making the countries, all that jazz that like doesn't really matter, but also matters at least to an observant reader who's like, okay, they're talking about these gods. Who are they? Why are they there? Why do they worship these gods? What are their whole stories? And it is a rabbit hole that you can fall down. And I was actually working on this before I got diagnosed with ADHD and got on my medication. So it just felt like a slog to get through all the world building. And I just was stuck on it. And like, I didn't want to work on the prose. And I was like, I need all these characters and everything like that I need to sort out. She's posing by her picture. Toasty, that's incense. You don't want to be near that. Don't. Don't. She better not. There's a bunch of magic cards there too. I hope she doesn't knock those over because that'll be annoying. And hopefully she doesn't eat the bamboo because she does like to do that as well. Can I continue talking or do I need to be worried about you, baby girl? Oh, looks like I need to be worried about you. Be nice to your portrait. You better not be batting those cards down. You better not. Anyway, sorry for the toast distraction. Girl, I'm watching you. I know you think I'm not. I totally lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about how I was undiagnosed for ADHD and didn't. Oh my. Excuse me? What was that for? I have to go. What'd she drop? What'd you drop? It's the lid of a candle, and the actual candle is in my room downstairs. Now she has zoomies. So I'm trying to write toast. As I was trying to say for the last like 8 hours, I wasn't diagnosed with my ADHD, so and I was unmedicated. So writing it felt like a slog, and when you things feel like a slog or you don't want to do it, especially when you have unmedicated ADHD, like it's not giving you that dopamine, that serotonin, you will just put it off forever. So I actually looked at this document and it said it hadn't been updated since 2024, which makes sense because I got medicated for ADHD in January 2025. So probably haven't touched it since then. I'm gonna give it a quick look over and uh, maybe see what I want to do with it. If I like any of these ideas that past me started. This is also like a side note. Ever since I started my ADHD medication, I feel like I've become a better writer. simply because I can actually focus. Like the quality, like particularly in The Nature of the Beast, the draft 3, the first like 9 chapters were written unmedicated, and then chapter 10 rolled around and it was just so much better. And you can tell my ADHD meds have worn off because I just keep jumping from tangent to tangent to tangent. This story is a romantasy story about a vampire and a witch. And I was tired of, the typical romantasy where like, it's a 19-year-old girl and like, oh, he's so bad and evil and stuff like that. I mean, the vampire is bad and evil. Anyways, the main female character is not a 19-year-old. She's hundreds of years old, just like the main character, like the main male character is. So they have like, there's not that weird like power imbalance. And like, she's like a very powerful witch and he's like a very powerful vampire warlord. So it's not like coming into your powers. And the whole plot really is that there's a vampire kingdom and then there's another kingdom. Don't ask me to say the names. I don't remember. But the vampire kingdom is trying to take over the other kingdom and basically use their people like cattle, like kind of like in Castlevania. Oh, well, I don't need to be original. It's a first draft. So they're trying to wage war, and this other kingdom that they're trying to wage war on has manufactured the magic to create an artificial sun. And because this magic is like inherently powerful and like crazy, and like obviously the vampires attack at night because they're vampires and they get burned by the sun, and then artificial sun, you can just like nuke this whole country. The main female character is very interested in this powerful magic because her and her brother were like part of this witch organization, and when they left they sort of like signed a contract like on their soul to like stay with it for like their whole lives, and they left, and she was powerful enough to like withstand the curse, but he wasn't, and he got turned into a raven, and witches normally live for hundreds of years and ravens live for maybe 10. So they're kind of on this time crunch to break this curse on him, and she saves the main vampire character from like burning alive in the battle because she's using him to try to get more information about this artificial sun and this very powerful magic. So she thinks that it might be able to break her brother's curse. And this probably makes no sense to anybody but me. But yeah, there's, the dichotomy of good and evil, hypocrites, and all that fun stuff in fantasy, a bunch of organizations, a bunch of proper nouns. But yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun. I don't usually write fantasy. I'm not a big fantasy writer. I do have another fantasy story that actually was inspired by a dream. Call me Stephanie Meyer. But I'm not working on that one. That one was just like a spur of the moment. I wrote down the dream and then I need to flesh it out and make it better. But I might talk about it. I have a lot of projects, and today is just a for fun writing project. And I have been blabbing for 10 minutes about this and haven't even written down my goals. So my writing goals aren't that special fun. It literally is write at least 500 words, which hopefully is manageable. Work on the vampire witch story, which is what I call this because it has no title. Again, I'm bad at titles. And my last goal is to have fun because writing is a hobby that I enjoy sometimes. I am going to be accompanied by my little cat guy. He's creative. And then on the back, it's flabbergasted. So these two emotions will be with me as I write. So my video got cut off because I didn't have enough storage on my phone, but I did meet my goal. I know it didn't look like I was actually writing in the video because I wasn't writing in the first few minutes, but I did meet my goal. And look at that, 512 words to a draft. Look at all them proper nouns being underlined in red. Is this a good chapter 2 beginning? Probably not. Will it ever see the light of day? I mean, apart from this video, you can pause and read it. I'm sure it's bad. But yeah. Woo! Also, I'm sorry. I should have probably put this. I'm going to clip this and then put it at the beginning. Spoilers for this book. So I have filmed some update clips, like little clips like this close to my face, talking about this book, but I really just feel like I need to bitch about it right now. Um it's not good. Like it's not like atrocious writing, but also like you read it and it's like you couldn't use any other word. Like I just finished the most like unsexy smut scene I have ever read in my life. And I'm not like one for smut scenes. I don't read books for smut. And like if you do, that's your prerogative. But like it is just like so unsexy. Like I think like it was like and she stroked him and then like something like and she stroked him comma with fast strokes. Like like that's paraphrasing a little bit, but like stroke was used twice in one sentence. Um Sophie Jordan is not allowed to use the word hard ever again. Never again. She uses it so much. Like multiple times on a page, the word hard is there. And I know that's being nitpicky and like something an editor should have caught. But the amount of times this woman's nipples harden in this book, stop. Just stop. So, no, this woman is not allowed to use the word hard ever again. I like notice it now. Every time I see the word hard, I'm like, there it is again. There it is again. And it's just over and over and over and over and over again. And I get it. Hard is a word that you can use a little bit more frequently. It's not like something like, I don't know, kaleidoscope, where like if you saw the word kaleidoscope a million times in a book, you'd be like, what the fuck is with this author and kaleidoscopes? But it is still distracting enough where you're like, why is this happening? There's also zero chemistry between these two characters. So apparently she turns into a werewolf and her whole purpose as a werewolf is just to make more werewolf babies. So her instinct is that she needs to have sex all the time and procreate. And so she is just lusting after this man. And like she talks about her abusive dad and he gets like so protective over her and like he's like lusting after her, but he's not a werewolf. He has no excuse. Like, I don't understand why he's into her. Like, she's she's a nobody character. She has no personality. She's just mad that she's a werewolf. And like I I don't know why they like each other. Like, yes, he's hot, and I guess like she's hot too, but she's not described as hot. It's so confusing. It's not like First Time Caller. When I read First Time Caller by BK Borison, it was beautiful because the characters actually had chemistry. You could see why they liked each other, and then the smut felt deserved because it's like, okay, they've been pining after each other forever, and like these characters, like you can actually see them getting together. If she's not a werewolf anymore at the end of this book, which I presume will happen, are they still going to be together? Because she only wants to be with him because she's a werewolf right now. So, and apparently it changes her personality too. So, what is her personality going to switch back after she's not a werewolf anymore? And also, the werewolf thing, the no deal, which is a stupid name for a werewolf thing, doesn't let women in. Why? It's not explained. She just overhears it in conversation that they don't let women in. Um, the only way I can think of it is just because they're sexist. And sure, the book calls it sexist, but Sophie Jordan, you could have just not included that. You really just couldn't. Like, the main male character, Gideon, um, his sister wants to be a werewolf hunter, but they don't let women in. How about you just give her like a disability or something where she can't hunt werewolves safely? Like, she's a diabetic and like she can't go out at night all the time because what if her blood sugar gets low and she doesn't have insulin? Like, make it more narratively interesting why this woman is like kept from her dream of killing werewolves instead of just, no, we don't let women in. What is this, the 1950s? This book was written in the 2000s. Women had rights then. Not that many, but they still had rights. Let them kill werewolves. The thing is this is marketed towards women. It's a romance book. Like, I know men can read romance, but it's marketed towards women. So why are you being shitty to women? Not to mention there's a sexual assault attempt scene, and then the male character blames her for it because she's a werewolf, she's flaunting it, she wants it. Excuse me? And I'm supposed to be rooting for this guy to get with her. And okay, so the whole plot of this book that I was like interested in when I was reading is that she gets turned into a werewolf and they're trying to break the curse. And to break the curse, they have to kill the alpha, um, that like is the alpha of the pack that like infected her. And I'm like, okay, why does that work? Why wouldn't it just be like the werewolf that you, anyways, it's stupid. It makes no sense really. Um and I am 150 pages in to a 300-page book, and the only attempt that they have made to try to find this alpha to kill him is to sit at a bar and wait for werewolves to come. Like, the first 100 pages of this 300-page book is just her being like, "Oh, I'm changing. Oh, I don't like myself. I'm being aggressive. Blah 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 blah." And like the main male character being like, "You're a werewolf now. Accept it." And then like this forced sexual tension between them that makes no sense, like, at all. Like, I get wanting to fuck somebody, but this is supposed to be a romance book, not a lust man's book. Like, they're supposed to like each other. And I don't get it. I don't see. I'm throwing Allie Hazelwood under the bus, but like he's bigly big and she's smally small. And it's like, why? And the like attempted sexual assault scene is done so like wrong. Like, it's very visceral in the writing. Like, sure, nothing happens in the end, but it's like, I'm not expecting this when I pick up a romance book, you know? And there's no trigger warnings in the front of the book, and it just feels unnecessary. Like, this whole like plot of her wanting to have sex because she's now a werewolf is just like so forced and so porno. Like, this is something I would watch in a porn video. I don't want to say that romance books aren't valuable literature or anything like that. Like, I don't want to throw them under the bus like that and be like, oh, it's just a romance book, so I guess it's just like smut and blah. No, they're not. Romance books are valuable literature. They are good to read when they're well done. And this is just like not well done. And I guess like the characters aren't characters. I know nothing about Gideon apart from the fact that he carves furniture and his parents got killed by a werewolf. That's it. Claire is just an English teacher who got turned into a werewolf. That's it. Oh, and she has an abusive dad because why would characters in a romance book have good parents? I hate this book. Like, the thing is, it's the writing quality is like, it's not very bad. It's bad. So it's not like a 1-star book where it's like, this is like illiterate. Like, why the hell would I read this? But my enjoyment of it is just like, it's out of spite now. I'm reading out of spite because I want to finish this book and I don't want to like rate like DNF on Goodreads. I want to finish this book so I can give it a 2 stars on Goodreads. and complain about it on Goodreads. I don't update on Goodreads about my books. Like I don't do, oh, I'm on page whatever now and then like my little comments. This one I have because I want my sisters, who are the only people who follow me on Goodreads, to see my updates and be like, Anya is suffering right now. And honestly, it feels good to suffer it on the internet with other people that you love watching you. I mean, you're watching me, I guess, suffer, but I'm not actively reading right now. And I don't think you love me. That would be weird. This is only like my second video. That's way too fast. Like, dial it back. I hate this book. I really hate this book. Like, it would be so much cooler if they did something fun. Like, or if like breaking the curse was more interesting than just killing a guy. You know, like what if there was like, I don't know, like some blood magic that they had to do and like they had to sacrifice something, or like, oh my goodness, like I can't even think of something right now. Or at least like if they're trying to find this guy, make it more cool than just sitting at a bar and waiting for werewolves to come so you can interrogate them. There is a character. There are, I think, three characters that actually have lines that are named apart from the two main characters. Okay, like that's being like exaggerating a little bit, but there's like three other characters in this book that have names. One of them is Maggie, and she is main character's coworker. The other one is Cyril, who is main character's coworker but man. And then the last one is Cooper, which is Gideon's boss. I am calling it now. I am 50% into this book. Cyril is the big bad. Cyril is the alpha that they need to kill. I'm calling it now because nobody else has been named and it's 50% into the book. You can't just like make a mystery where you're trying to find an alpha or whatnot and just have it be some random guy on the street. It has to be the teacher because also she got infected because one of her students bit her and infected her. So it's probably the teacher because they're both at the same school. Like if you're going to try to make it like tense or something like that, at least like add more characters. Like, I don't think her mom has a name, and her dad is mentioned like once. And then, like, Cooper has his sister who's not allowed to join because they're sexist. But, like, she hasn't been on page since the prologue where his parents die. Don't. That's my recommendation. Don't. Anyways, Cyril is the big bad. He's the alpha. Um, when I read it, because I'm calling it now, and I personally I would be shocked if it was anybody else. Like genuinely like flabbergasted. And then I would be like, that's bad writing. I mean, it's not good writing anyways to only have like three other characters who are like flat as cardboard. Like one of their personalities is that they got a divorce. I don't know, maybe it's because I've been reading good books recently. I've been on a good kick with books. Like my last like four books have been 4 stars. And like it's really hard for me to give a 5 star. So like 4 stars is like top notch books. Um, I've been spoiled. No longer, no more. Marked by Moonlight by Sophie Jordan. Bane of my existence. A werewolf's bane. Anyways, back to suffering. Sorry, it's shaking. I pushed too hard. Sorry. Don't throw up. 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 Shh, it's okay. I'm 2 pages back from my rant, and they're already being sexist again. He's talking about his little sister and how they had to like live with their grandmother because, um, his parents died, and he just says, "A little girl needs love more than what I could give. A woman's touch." So dads just suck. I guess they're not valuable in raising children. What about gay men with their children? Like The thing is, I started reading this and I was like, page, I want to say like 10. And I was like, this is one of these misogynistic romance books where like it's sexist to its main audience and like unenjoyable. And I should have DNF'd it then. I should have put it down. But I had hope. I had so much hope. That hope is dying. Like, somebody needs to give me a message about the Death Star weakness to reignite my hope, because that's the only way. That's the only way. Cassian Andor needs to die on a planet to save me now. That's the only way I can regain hope in this book. Gideon March will have to explode on a planet and bring me back news that this book has been fixed, and that will heal my heart. So I'm going to end this vlog here. It is only Friday night, but I have a friend coming over tomorrow morning for a brunch, so I won't have time to film. So I hope you enjoy this. It's more of a reading vlog this week because I didn't really write that much, but I hope you enjoy it. If you want to hear more about my writing, please stick around. I do think I'm going to film, or rather record reading some of my stories, or at least like a couple poems, and have those uploaded this week just so like you can have more of an idea of my writing. Hopefully by the time this one is up, I can actually link the fan fiction. It's not fan fiction, it's original fiction, but I posted it on AO3. So monster of the week. I keep rubbing my eyes. I'm sorry. Just the fan fiction. Hopefully I can post that. It's not fan fiction, it's an original story. I'm tired. It will be linked if I can link it, and if it's not, I apologize. I hope you enjoyed me bitching about this book and the little writing content that I had. Um, I'll see you next week. Bye.